Thank you, Councilmember O'Farrell and Mitch O'Farrell, and everything you do for our town. Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle Sobrino-Stearns. I am the CEO and group publisher of Variety Magazine. Variety Magazine is a 117-year young magazine and institution. I am thrilled and I'm honored to introduce an individual who embodies the spirit of innovation, driving America's technology leaders, and at the same time is the preeminent force for the creative renaissance that has powered the success of the global streaming industry, which Netflix created. Ted Sarandos is a disruptor, a builder, and an advocate. He is a risk taker that has guided the transition of old Hollywood into a new golden era. Netflix has been the most nominated studio at the Oscars for the past 3 years. At the 2021 Primetime Emmy Awards, Netflix tied the record for the most wins in a single year with 44, and in July 2022, the Television Academy recognized Netflix with 105 Primetime Emmy nominations across 35 titles. And that includes Squid Game, the first non-English series to be recognized by the Emmys. Netflix is at the epicenter of the convergence of technology and media, with its roots in Silicon Valley and Los Angeles. When it came time in 2017 to select the site for its LA expansion, Ted understood the importance of bringing the town's most prolific content company to the place where it all started. That decision led to a burst of investment and economic activity at the time when Hollywood needed it most. 5 years later, the company's operational footprint has grown exponentially, providing opportunity to multiple businesses, many of yours, in the area. Everyone, it is my great privilege to introduce Ted Sarandos to the stage for a discussion with President and CEO of the Chamber, David Jerome.
Good morning.
Well, Ted, what a delight to have you here. And Michelle, by the way, thank you. Delightful comments, and you're such a
Very
wonderful
nice, thank
partner
you.
of the Chamber. Thank you very much.
Left me with not much else to say. It's
Yeah.
nicely done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ted, you know, one of the great things about having a chance to talk to you, obviously on so many levels, and we're very honored and thank you. But I wanted to take a moment because I think sometimes when we're struggling so much to try to get outcomes that are meaningful to this community, it's sometimes good just to take a breath and ask why we're here. Yeah. And as a new set of eyes here relatively, it's interesting for me too to learn with that question, and I thought maybe for the others as well in the room, is maybe just start this way, is Netflix can obviously go anywhere. With the reputation and success track record that you folks have had, why Hollywood?
Well, this is, as was pointed out earlier, this was a company born in Silicon Valley. I was the first non-Silicon Valley employee in Netflix, and my first office outside of my bedroom at Netflix was on the Raleigh studio lot, which was a little writer's bungalow. And by the way, I was commuting. I chose to commute. I could have done that anywhere, but I was living in Palos Verdes and chose to take on that commute every day to be in the creative center of the world. Even though it was an office smaller than this stage, I knew every day that I was in the center of the creative dream that became what we live in today, where entertainment is so important, not just to the economy, but also to the mental health and the well-being of the world. So I feel like it was a reminder every day that the world needs what we're doing. And so there's something about the difference, the eye on the future, that's so much more meaningful when it's rooted in the past and rooted in the history of what we do. So at that little stage, that little office at the Raleigh studio lot, you can easily get down when you're trying to grow something big and never been done before, and be reminded that Charlie Chaplin did the same thing 50 yards from where I'm sitting right now. And that creative juice is still all over this place, and we're thrilled to be here. And like I said, there's a creative energy. It's very hard to quantify and very hard to put into a spreadsheet, but it is incredibly tangible to work and live in and around Hollywood.
Does your team feel that? Do they feel this creative? It's sort of such a center of creativity. Do they feel that?
100%. Councilman O'Farrell's story about coming to Hollywood to audition and figuring out that, no, he's got another calling, is the story of so many people in Hollywood who came here with a different dream, but realized their dreams in a different way. But it is that dream, that lure. You know, no disrespect, but I don't think anyone ever woke up saying, I can't wait to grow up and go to Atlanta to be a star. They dream of coming to Hollywood to be a star. And it's yeah. So what you have is a collection of people who dream.
Yeah.
Right? And they're responsible for creating the next generation's dreams, which is pretty cool.
Well, we feel the same. Obviously, it's partly why the sign matters to us, the Walk of Fame, all these.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful place, and it still is an important dream for the whole world. Yeah. But I also get the chance to ask another question, which I really wanted to do, and I think it represents, I think, the one question I probably think most people in the room would like to ask you when I sort of surveyed a bit. And one of
do you have a pitch?
I do not.
You have a script?
I am wearing a bow tie, though. But I will say, one of the things, though, that I found really, I mean, I love the reel and everything, but one of the things that's so interesting is how you guys have led the industry. And I know everybody is so intrigued with how you've redefined it in so many ways. What's the future look like? What can we expect?
Well, I'll root it back to what we're doing here now. So we have an urban campus here in the center of the entertainment industry. We have, it's our largest concentration of employees at Netflix. We have about 4,000 employees, non-production employees. This are just folks who work at Netflix, right here, very close to where we're sitting right now. And we have stage space that we've booked, long-term stage space on Sunset Gower, Sunset Bronson, Raleigh. We've got, this year alone, we've got about 40 films and series shooting in Los Angeles. We're building out an innovation hub at the Siren Studios, which is another unbelievable history place. Nearly every film developed by Technicolor in the beginning of the motion picture industry was developed in that building. So there's plenty of history there as well, and I think that history, coupled with the innovation that we're planting a seed for the future in terms of production innovation, you've got a world where billions of people love to stream content and watch movies and TV shows and to play games as well at home on these increasingly big, beautiful screens, and the connection that people have with entertainment has never been deeper. So I think in general, what we do and our storytelling has been incredibly resilient through all kinds of technology changes, certainly through all kinds of economic changes. And you've got in Netflix a company that for the last 25 years this year has been innovating and growing through a ton of change. So if you think about the last 25 years that Netflix has been in existence, we have kind of navigated ourselves through the coming and going of VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, premium pay-per-view, all these different business models and different business technologies to continue to kind of lead, because we're, as much as we have deep reverence for the history of this town, we also know that its future is dependent on innovating and keeping pushing and going where the audience is. So we by way of example, in how we kind of invest in the history at the same time we're investing in the future, is we're getting ready to reopen the Egyptian Theater, and we've put a lot of loving energy into restoring it to its glory. It was the home of the very first Hollywood premiere, and it will be the home to our premieres for future to come. And to be able to bring Hollywood Boulevard to life with a Hollywood premiere, and those images and those the traveling around the world is where those dreams come from. They draw people to this town. So we're excited to be part of that. But also, like I mentioned at the Siren Studios, developing new kinds of virtual production innovations that can help a production create new worlds that are impossible to build physically. And all those things, where that's at today versus where it was just 2 or 3 years ago, is remarkable. We've got a pretty sizable investment in games coming up, and that where the game playing and storytelling will converge is going to be part of the future, and how we think about how interactive storytelling can be, from something pretty simple and crude but exciting like Bandersnatch, our interactive storytelling, from just started only a few years ago to where it could go today, where you're actually building worlds of storytelling that you might be part of.
Well, thank you for challenging the way we're thinking about rebuilding and reimagining. It's hugely important. I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you.
By the way,
so
going from completely digital to like that to something completely analog. We just hosted our first Netflix is a Joke comedy festival all over the city.
That's right. I remember.
So in that you've got almost 300,000 tickets sold. You've got events and 288 events in every iconic facility in Los Angeles and Hollywood. And to me, it was one of these opportunities to to connect the city in a way. Film festivals, TV, comedy festivals, certainly like that. A lot of these entertainment festivals in the industry skip Hollywood, skip LA, skip Hollywood because people want to go out of town to go to a festival. It was the belief. We thought we could actually turn that on its head and do the festival right here in Los Angeles and connect the greatest stars in comedy with the biggest fans in comedy. And I think we'll create a real destination festival for the future in Los Angeles.
Well, we look forward to supporting it. That was a great event. A lot of things happened.
It was pretty great. It was pretty great. Yeah.
Well, we are mindful of your time, and I just wanted to thank you again for all of it, but I don't want you to go anywhere because we have an award we'd like to give to you if we could.
Oh, thank you so much. And real quick for the folks here, yes, we have 4,000 people living and working in and around Hollywood, but we've also, it's all dependent on the vendor community here as well. We've used the services of over 4,000 local vendors for our productions and to serve our employees here in the area. So we're happy and proud to be part of the economic well-being of this machine. So.
That's huge. We forget those things sometimes, but we do have a breakout session, actually funny enough today, just on supply chain, because making sure that we manage those well is a big part of beating the inflationary pressures and all that we know, and we really appreciate everything you're doing to grow business here.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things that I want to do as we introduce the award is just to remind you, the Chamber itself is here to transform business and improve lives. That's why we exist. And we do that because, well, we love businesses with the passion that actually think they can change the world, because they're the ones that do. And it's in that spirit that we created this award, which is the Economic Development Visionary Award. And I will turn it over to my colleagues to tell the rest of the story.
And I'll just repeat it again, Ted. Someone who has brought so much innovative and creative development to Hollywood's economy and has validated our claim as the entertainment capital of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to present the Chamber's 2022 Economic Development Visionary Award to Mr. Ted Sarandos.
I just want to say this is not for me. This is nice that has my name on it. It's for the 4,000 people here in Hollywood working at Netflix. It's for the more than 10,000 Netflix employees around the world driving the innovation that makes all that possible, and the 222 million member households who we entertain every night. Thank you.